carbon fiber lightweight aero bars from Controltech. Now you may be wondering why they're so short, and that's because they're designed for draft legal racing. Now the rules state that the tri-bars can't extend beyond the brake levers, but they're still enough that you can get into a nice, fast aerodynamic position, as you see some of the elites using. And it's perfect timing ahead of the ITU age group sprint world champs, where it's going to be draft legal racing for the first time.
It is, and Controltech have very kindly given us 5 to give away. So if you want a pair, well, you can enter by clicking the link in the description below. Good luck.
We have the results in from last week's poll, where we asked you what level of triathlon experience you have and show. Now remember, you can enter our Controltech tri-bar giveaway by clicking on the link in the description below.
And if you want to subscribe to GTN, just click on the globe, it's free. And if you want to watch a video on indoor versus outdoor running, click down here.
And to see our swimming, tumble turn or flip turn video, just click down here.
We've got quite a novel design here at Eurobike called the Cougar PCS, which stands for Pure Cockpit System. It takes away all of the cables from display and puts them internal, and this is compatible with almost all bikes. So the cables go from your shifters in through the bars, out through the back of them, into the stem, and then down inside the fork steerer tube. They've got a special headset which removes the need for the expander bolt inside the steerer tube. Then the cables come out of the back of that and through the frame, or of course if you've got disc brake mounts, they come out through the bottom of the forks. Now I've designed it in such a way that the steering is still incredibly free, and I have to say the shifting feels very crisp too. Ceramic Speed are a company. Competition time now. We've got 3 great prizes for you from Controltech, a company with a long history in the sport. I remember running one of their stems on my mountain bike in the mid-90s, and they made somewhat of a resurgence with some fantastic looking products.
They have. So up for grabs, literally, we've got 3 handlebars. So Dan is modelling very well, in fact, the Time Mania, which you'll notice has a titanium central section, unidirectional carbon drops. The idea being that it blends the properties of both those materials together in one handlebar, which is cool. And then there's this one, which is my favourite, the Cougar Carbon Aero handlebar. I do like the sound of that, Dan. Now, it's compatible with the new Di2 junction box, which fits in your bar end plug there, but it's also compatible with Control's Pure Cockpit System. So you'll notice there's a bunch of holes on the back here, so you can route your cables internally and even out through into Controltech's own compatible stem, and then out into their fork as well, and from the fork straight into the frame, so no more external cables.
Yeah, saw that at Eurobike, looks very good indeed.
Yeah.
And finally we have this, which is the EXL gravel bike specific carbon bar with flared drops, and as you can see, quite a pronounced rise as well. Great for people like me who are older and want to slam stem still whilst remaining comfortable. As ever, if you would like to enter this competition, you can do so by following the link which is in the description below this video. And all that leaves us to say is good luck.
Well, not only that, but make sure you enter the other competitions that we've got on the channel as well. We've got the lightweight unboxing, and we've also got the physique unboxing as well. So the links to those competitions are also in the description. That's a lot of chances to win.
Hack / bodge of the week now. Did you get it right?
I think so.
We'll kick off with one from
Draft legal triathlon races used to be almost exclusive to the elite athletes, but now they're open to the age group competitors too. As of 2016, the International Triathlon Union have made the age group sprint world champs draft legal. So what is draft legal triathlon? Well, it's basically what I'm doing here. I'm drafting off our GCN test dummy, John Cannings. And whereas some races regulate how far you can be behind another athlete, in draft legal racing, you can get as close as you like. And by sitting in this slipstream and benefiting from the draft, you can save yourself a massive 30% in workload, which is quite a lot really. Put up the pace a bit, John. Right, there are a couple of main differences when it comes to the equipment, and you're going to have to leave your beloved TT bike at home for this one. You have to ride a road bike like this one in draft legal racing, and that's because when you're riding in a group or close to others, you need to be able to react quickly and maneuver the bike easily. Road bikes are much better for handling, and getting to the brakes from the handlebars is much quicker than from some long aero bars. However, that doesn't mean you can't get yourself into a fast and aerodynamic position. Now, the elites can use some short clip-on aero bars like the ones on my bike right now. But the ITU rules currently state that you can't use them for age group draft legal races. But that said, they may well be introduced with time. It is relatively new to age group racing. So for now, you can still get yourself into a fast position by getting onto the drops and tucking down. Lastly, a small rule, but it could put a stop to your racing. Make sure your bar ends are plugged. They do fall out from time to time, so check prior to the race. So the exciting element to draft legal racing is that it's unpredictable. You can't simply go to your ideal pace as you would in non-drafting. You have to go with the pace of others to an extent. So that means making bike packs out of the swim, so there's no hanging around in T1. Once you're on the bike, the aim is to form a group with others to share the workload. And the idea is that you travel faster than you would on your own by each taking a turn on the front and then recovering as you pull off. And if you're at the head of the race, you'll be wanting to maintain or even increase your lead. But if you're in a chasing group, you'll want to work together to close that gap. This sharing of the workload is called through and off, or better known as chain gang. Now, one rider should work their way through the group and then pull off at the front. But it's important that that rider eases off when they get to the front, so they drop themselves back and through the group. Now, if you're riding in a bigger group, when you get to the back of the group, you should then begin to accelerate to rejoin that line that works its way back up to the front. If you don't accelerate, you'll find it hard to close that gap again. Now, getting people to take a turn and do some work is easier said than done. And just sitting in and then surging through is only going to deter people from doing some work or even splinter the group. You're going to do some work then, John? This is getting a little technical now, but keeping an eye on the direction of the wind can make a big difference to the pace of the group. Essentially, the idea is that you protect the line that's coming through and driving the pace of the group. For example, if the wind is coming from the right, you'd pull off at the front into the wind side in a clockwise motion. And if it's coming from the left, you'd rotate anti-clockwise. Although you're all racing one another, you're working as a team in the pack, so communication is key. Try to encourage one another, call out if any gaps are opening, or if you need to change the direction you're rotating in due to the wind. And if you simply cannot take a turn, it's okay to momentarily sit a turn out and recover at the back, but do let the other riders know what you're doing. So there we go, hopefully that's got you up to speed with how draft legal triathlon works. And to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to GTN by clicking on the globe. And to see our TT versus road bike descending video, just click down here. And to see an essential bike skills video, just click down here. All right, John, do you want to do a turn now? Let's go. This is Japan's Yuka Sato Cervelo R5, and here she's got the Controltech clip-on aero bars, but clearly she has run out of space for her bike computer. She's got the Pioneer bike computer here, so she has actually attached it from the top cap. This is South African Gillian Sanders Scott foil, and in this women's race there seems to be quite a few using these clip-on aero bars, and here Gillian is using the Controltech Impel clip-on aero bars.
There is a long-running debate in cycling about which handlebars are stronger, carbon or aluminium. Well, thanks to the experts at Controltech, we're going to settle this once and for all. we're going to look at two different types of strength. Strength over time, so resistance to fatigue, and then also impact strength. And to investigate, Controltech have very kindly given us access to their testing facility at their headquarters, which lies just behind this yellow door. First up, we've got fatigue testing, so how long a handlebar can stand up to extreme normal use. There is an international standard that all handlebars that are sold on the market need to withstand. It's called ISO 4210, since you asked, and it means that every handlebar has to go through 200,000 cycles. So 100,000 cycles of having a 280 Newton force pressing down on it, immediately followed by another 100,000 cycles of a 400 Newton force pushing and pulling on the handlebar, like we can see here. Now, Controltech actually, like many people in the industry, feel that the ISO standard doesn't quite go far enough, so they require all their handlebars to go through 400,000 cycles and with greater force as well. That's still not enough to break the bars. So what would happen if we left the machines running? We've turned the machines off. Controltech have pointed out that as an experiment, it's not a terribly good one, because actually from their previous research, it would take between 600,000 and 800,000 cycles for a carbon bar to break. That's 3 days non-stop. With an aluminium bar though, it's between 450,000 and 500,000 cycles, so significantly less. In fatigue testing, a carbon handlebar will last longer. However, what happens in a crash? Right then, this is where the debate really hots up. This is the reason why a number of pro cyclists still use aluminium handlebars as opposed to carbon handlebars, even though there's a 100-gram or so weight penalty. Because some people think that an aluminium bar is more resistant to impacts. So those kind of cataclysmic events like riding down a hill at 65 kilometers an hour and hitting an almighty pothole. They think that an aluminium bar is even less likely to fail than a carbon one. But will it? We're going to find out with this torture machine of choice. It's called a drop tester. And basically, we mount a 5.8 kilo weight. That's more than 5.8 kilos, I swear. We're going to mount one on either side of the handlebars and then drop them. Firstly, from 36 centimeters. Then, if they survive, from 48 centimeters, do my maths. Then 60, 72, and so on. Which one is going to fail first, carbon or aluminium? I thought it had passed 60 centimeters, but when you look closely, we got a bit of crackage going on. Unbelievably though, you could have ridden that one out. Like, I thought that would be a catastrophic failure. If a carbon bar goes, in my head, it's gonna go. But look, that's still like, that's pretty good. You could hold on to that. But there we go, one on that side and a matching one on that side, all the way underneath. That was a big impact though, wasn't it? Ooh. Let's see how aluminium does. Well, there we go then. The aluminium handlebar has withstood 84 centimeters. And to be honest with you, we're going to give it a reprieve now. We're not going to take it any further because that is an almighty impact. But let's put this into context as well. The carbon handlebar going at 60 centimeters, that too is the kind of impact that you would never ever normally encounter on the road. So both, we've got to stress, are plenty safe enough to road riding, but for ultimate impact resistance, the aluminium handlebar is clearly the winner. It's complex, but in essence, all materials have a fatigue life, whereby when they're subjected to repeated stresses that are less than would cause failure on a single application, what's called the yield strength, the material would still fail after a certain number of cycles. The stress will eventually cause tiny cracks to form at defects or stress concentrations like bolt holes or sharp corners. These cracks can then grow with continued use, which can ultimately result in the component breaking. Now, because of the way that aluminium behaves and hardens as it deforms, cracks form and grow in it faster and at comparatively lower forces. Carbon fibre, however, is more resistant to fatigue because it's much more difficult for a crack to form and grow through the complex microstructure of fibres and resin. Our test handlebars come out of Controltech's pretty extensive range of both aluminium and carbon fibre handlebars. The brand actually started out in the late 80s and early 90s making bar ends for mountain bikes. That's right, a brand very much off mountain, and they still make bar ends to this day, if you were wondering. Now, since those earliest days, the brand has actually moved manufacture from the US over to Taiwan, as has much of the cutting-edge research and also engineering. On the one hand, comparing the two materials is quite difficult. Controltech point out that you could create a handlebar that lasts almost to infinity on these tests out of either material. But what you wouldn't get out of that handlebar is one that was comfortable or particularly lightweight. You wouldn't want to put it anywhere near a road bike, let's put it that way, because the true engineering skill comes in making a bar that's super strong, super tough, but also lightweight. I mean, this aluminium one is just 225 grams. This carbon one is 169 grams. So we have an answer. The carbon handlebar is stronger. Most of the time. Sometimes, however, the aluminium handlebar is stronger. I do think it's interesting that carbon has clearly a greater resistance to fatigue, whereas aluminium clearly has greater resistance to impact. Now, the question is, I suppose, what you do with this information. So this is kind of how I've processed it. You shouldn't look at a handlebar in isolation. It's one component of many that makes up your bike. Therefore, I think you need to buy what's appropriate to the rest of your bike. If you've got a super lightweight carbon fibre road bike, then it makes sense to put a nice lightweight carbon handlebar on there as well. It's in keeping with the bike. You also get that greater vibration damping as well. If, however, you're building up a really burly, heavy-duty cyclocross bike, then it makes sense to stick an aluminium handlebar on there as well. And with the same breath, actually, you also shouldn't expect to be able to build up a featherweight 5 kilo climbing bike, stick an aluminium handlebar on there, and then have something that's utterly bomb-proof, because something else will be the point of failure, almost inevitably. And then the other thing to mention as well is that there actually isn't any question over the safety of either of these products. The tests that we've been running today are extreme, really extreme. And so there is no weight limit on this carbon handlebar either. It is perfectly suited to riding conditions. It's just that when GCN gets let loose in the lab, we want to break things. So there it is. Right, do make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you to Controltech for their time, the use of their lab, and also for handlebars, which aren't very much good for anything now. Do also subscribe to GCN. To do that, just click on the globe. And if you want to watch a couple more videos, we've got an old one actually about which handlebars pros use, and then for one about handlebar shape, which is pretty interesting. Click just down there.